All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome everybody. So we're doing lesson 7.2, division properties of exponents. And so this is a more complicated lesson. Want to make sure you guys understand the negative aspect that we're going to go through. And let's begin. So here's the bell work. So please make sure, we didn't do the bell work yesterday. This will be the first one in the lesson. So please make sure you guys do that. All right, and the bell work here, the answer's up on the board. Okay, pretty simple and straightforward. 3 times the negative would be -3. Add the exponents together, so that'd be 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 plus 2 is 6 for b to the 6th. And then, ladies and gentlemen, this one here, do the 2 on the outside. So 2 squared is 4. 2 times 5. 2 times 4. You guys get the gist. This one here, combine like terms. The big thing with this one is to make sure you guys do the crossing out. So -3 times -17 is 51. Then the x's together would be 5. And then the next variable is y. So there's a y here, but there's anything here, so just be y to the 3rd. Then you combine the z's and be z to the 6th. Pretty simple. All right, division. We're going to be multiplying monomials and dividing them. All right, dividing them using the properties of exponents. Simplify the expressions containing negative and 0. We're going to cover that. On your notes, please make sure you highlight and annotate order of magnitude. Jeez. All right, so here's the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Simplification. All right, this is basically saying when you guys simplify these out, like for example, this equation right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 r's on the top, and this would be 2 r's on the bottom. And so what you're trying to do is to make sure you guys understand that when you're doing this setup, what would be, if I were to do r divided by r, okay, that would actually be the number 1, which would be not annotated. So you're crossing these out. If I cross these out, I have 3 r's left, which is written like that. But instead of actually writing it like this, you just do the subtraction. It's pretty simple. Here's the formula. But I want you guys to understand the concepts, okay? So on here, we have 7 x's on the top and 6 on the bottom. So if we have 7 on the top, 6 on the bottom, 7 minus 6 would be x. And then the y's would be 12 over 3, which would be y to the 9th power, okay? And so it'd all be over 1, but you wouldn't write it like that. You just write it straight up like this. All right, now what I want you guys to do is your turn, please. Crack addict. All right, so we have here, simplify this expression. Make sure you guys do it. So 3 divided by 2 is actually going to be 3 over 2, which would be x over. And then this would be y. There's 4 on top, 1 on the bottom. So it'd be y to the 3rd. It'd be over 1. You don't have to write it like that. But I always like to do this setup like this, just in case I get a denominator on the bottom. It looks like right now I'm not. So 7 minus 5 would be k to the 2nd on top. And then this would be m to the 7th. Okay? And then the p's cancel out. Now this would be over 1. Or you could just write it regularly. Okay, simple setup. Now we're going to be talking about power of a quotient. So if you do the quotient on the outside like it is here, okay, then you just transfer the quotient on the inside of the equation. So we have done something similar to this before. So what you do is you're going to distribute this 3 into there, there, and then, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to come into there as well. So it would be 4 to the 3rd over 3 times 3, c to the 9th, and then d to the 9th, all over 5 to the 3rd. Now, what I want you guys to do is I would actually want you to go one step farther, not leave it like this. I want you to make sure you multiply it out. So 4 times 4 would be 16, and then 16 times 4 is 64. So it would be 64, c to the 9th, d to the 9th, all over 125. Okay? If you have any questions about that, let me know. But, so you're distributing this into all of the quotients here. All right, we have quite a few on here, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to make sure you guys do is please at least do 3 of the 4, okay, on the notes. If you can do all of them, that'd be great, because the more practice you do, the better. All right, so work on it real quick. All right, so when you do this, make sure you guys distribute. All right, so this would be 3 to the power of 3, so that would be 27. Okay, and then that would be 3 times that would be 12, all over 3 times, so I got 4 to the power of 3, 64, okay? And then this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, distribute the 2. That'd be 25 x to the 10th y squared over 36. This one here would be 4 y to the 4th over, and then make sure you guys do it down here, it'd be 9z to the 6th, okay? And then last but certainly not least, 4 to the 3rd power, and I can show you guys on the calculator again if you need to. Again is 64 x to the 9th all over 125 y to the 12th. Pretty simple setup. Make sure you guys do all these variables and that you guys do the proper distribution. Okay, next we have what's called a zero exponent property. Okay, when you have the zero exponent property, what you guys want to do is, make sure if it has a 0 here, it's actually going to be equal to 1. Because the irony about it is that if it has a to the 0, it's actually meaning that all the variables cancel each other out. So if I have a over a, okay, and I cancel these out, because what is 1 minus 1? Well, 1 minus 1 is 0. So if I have a to the 0, this actually equals what? The number 1. So that's how I want to make sure you guys understand. Okay, hopefully you guys understood that if I set this up, like I said, if I had a over a, all right, using the subtraction property, it'd be like this. And so knowing it would be a to the 0 equals 1. All right, so for our examples here, do I have to do this big old simplification on this? No, I don't. This is because this is the power of 0. This is actually just the number 1. Same with this one now. So substituting this, m to the 0 would actually be 1. So I would rewrite this as 1 times n over 3 divided by n over 2, which then equals n, because you cancel out 3 minus 2 is n. All right, what I want you guys to do is you practice on this real quick. Cancel it out. All right, simple enough. This one equals 1, okay, because everything in there gets zeroed out. This one here, this is going to cancel out, and so I would get b squared, because 4 minus 2 over c, all right? C squared over c. Hopefully you guys understand that. If I'm going too fast, please rewind the video and kind of understand where we're going from that we're eliminating. So on this one, I'll do it again, c times c over c, which would be c squared over c. You'd eliminate one of the c's, and what do you got left? The letter c. All right, so just make sure you guys understand that. All right, negative exponents. Here's the trick with negatives, okay? This is where it's going to get a little crazy. If I see this example, what happens is you have to take the negative and you create a reciprocal of this fraction. Okay, we have talked about reciprocals before. So if I have a negative in the denominator, I do the reciprocal as a whole number. If I have the negative in the numerator, I flip it to a denominator and you solve it out accordingly. Okay, so here's your example on this one. Okay, on this one here, what you want to do is take this piece by piece. So we're going to take these pieces together. Let me make sure I simplify these out. Okay, so we're going to go piece by piece. And you take it one step at a time as you're going through it. All right, first piece would be x to the negative 4th. All right, that's a negative 4, so what do you need to do? You need to give me the reciprocal of that. So I need to rewrite it to x to the 4th. The next piece is y to the 9th. Well, that's going to stay on top because that's positive. And the other one is z to the negative 6. I got to take that and flip it to the top. There's my equation. Okay, same with this one. So now I'm going to take this piece by piece. Okay, assuming that they are not equal to 0. If they're not equal to 0, you need to go piece by piece. So first off, what it would be 75 divided by 15. Okay, if I put that into a calculator, 75 divided by 15, it's going to be the number 5. So my setup is going to be a 5 on top. All right, and now I'll do my rest here. So it would be 5 minus 3. Okay, so if I have 3 on top, and I only have 5 on the bottom, that would end up being 2. So the bottom is going to have p squared. And then I am going to run into the problem of the negatives. So I need to flip this one. So I'm going to flip this one down, m to the 5th, okay, and then I'm going to flip this one up, m to the 4th, and I'm going to flip this one up, r to the 8th. Now you need to see if you're going to do any more simplification, which we can with the m's. So since you can with the m's, they would simplify each other out, cross it off, and it's going to be 5r to the 8th all over p squared times m. Complicated, I know, but ladies and gentlemen, rewatch it if you have to, and hopefully you guys understood the process, okay? Do the elimination up here. If I got to walk through it one more time, I can, but just understand, take it piece by piece. Whole numbers first. All right, we divided them, we got 5. Okay, then the next would be the p's. Okay, you take the letter p's here and you simplify those. 3 on top, 5 on the bottom. If I were to go like this, all over 5 on the bottom. Okay, you do your elimination. Cancel, cancel, cancel. You're left with 2 on the bottom, which is what we wrote. Then we had to flip all these variables. We flipped them, and then we solved them accordingly. Please make sure you guys know how to do that. All right, this, ladies and gentlemen, will be the last one. Work on this real quick and see if you can do this complicated one. All right, what I want you guys to do first when it comes to something like this is please make sure you start by flipping all the negatives. Okay, so let's take care of the negatives first. So we are going to rewrite our equation. And I'm going to take this negative here and I'm going to put it on the bottom. So v to the 3rd. And then I'm going to scratch it off. Okay, and then we have wx squared on the top. And the bottom is going to be w. And then we have y to the negative 6. So that needs to be flipped. So now we have gotten rid of all of the negative exponents. Now you can simplify. Okay, your w's will cancel out. x2, y to the 6th, all over v to the 3rd. The key with this, guys, is making sure you guys can do this manipulation and making sure that you guys can simplify as you go along. So next, let's work on the top. We're going to rewrite. So we'll just go 32. A to the 8th would drop down to here. Okay, and then this would be b to the 3rd will stay. And then c to the 4th would drop down. Now move on. We have the number 4. I'm going to put that out front. Then we have a to the 3rd, so a to the 3rd stays down here. B to the 5th stays down here. And then c to the negative goes up top. All right, now we have that written up. Now you need to simplify. Okay? When you simplify, 32 divided by 4 is 8, I think. Correct? Let me make sure I got that right. Divided by 4 is 8. Yep, so I cancel these out, so it's going to be 8 over. All right, and that's gone. And do I have, here my next exponent is, I'll go up to the top with b. I have a b down here, so I have 3 on the top, but I have 5 on the bottom. So that means I'm going to be left with 2. b squared. And then c squared on the top. So I have 2 on the top and I have 4 on the bottom. So they're going to cancel out again. And then I'm going to be left with 2 of those. So c squared. And then I combine my a's. So it'd be 8, 9, 10, 11. A to the 11. Now, does that look weird? Yes, but is that the right answer? It sure is. Now, what you can do if you want to write it aesthetically pleasing to your eyeball, you could rewrite it like that, but know the steps on how you get there. Okay, take it piece by piece, please. All right, next thing we're going to do is swap this one. So we don't touch the 5. All right, j to the 3rd, so I'm going to go j to the 3rd because it switches. K to the 2nd stays on top. M to the negative 6 drops down below. Then you have a 25, so put that out front. And then K to the negative 4, that gets brought up here. And M to the negative 2 gets brought up to the top. Now you simplify. So this is going to be 1 over 4, so, or 1 over 5, excuse me. So you know these simplify out. You don't have to put a 1 on the top, so you put a 5. So my equation here, we know it's going to end with a 5 on the bottom. That's gone. All right. And then the next piece of the puzzle is going to be I have k's, so let me combine them. 2 plus 4 is 6, so I got k to the 6th. And we scratch those off, so I got those. M to the 2nd. I have a 2 up here and a 6 down there, so I'm going to have m to the 4. And then lastly, I have a j all by itself, so it's going to be j to the 3rd. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you can simplify it if you want to make it prettier, but that's pretty much the setup. Is there any right or wrong way to answer this one? No. 5 would be in the front. It could be j to the 3rd, m to the 4th. The variables could be switched, but just make sure how the setup is supposed to be. Please make sure if you have any questions that you come see me in class. Homework is online through ALEKS. We most likely had another quizzy in class today, working on an exit ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe those will help us. And as we move forward, I want to make sure you guys do well. If you have any questions for me, please come see me in class. Otherwise, thank you for watching this and have a great day.